off. Good evening. This is Rosalind Court, and I'm Morag Butler. I went for one of those NHS appointment thingies this week, and they measured me in there, and I've lost an inch. So if anyone finds it, could they send it back to me, because I don't have that many left. Yeah, thank you. Good evening. This evening we have John Kirkpatrick, which is very exciting. Yay, which is lovely. Before that, raffle, there's a raffle. You know, it's folk do, so there's a raffle. You're all in the raffle. At home, if you want to be in the raffle, then you have to chat in the live chat or donate. Yeah, with preference on donate, obviously, but we're very happy to hear from you, whoever you are. We want to welcome Frances Turner back here. Yes, it's her first visit out after a major operation, and so we hope that it doesn't get too exciting for you this evening. Nothing untoward happens. That would be unfortunate. I'm going to sing a song called something or other. I love this song because it's one of the reasons I really love folk music, because it's got a cracking story and it's got good humour in it as well. And it's if I remember it all the way through, it'll be brilliant. It'll be really good. Yeah. It's of a fearless female, as you may understand, whose mind was turned to travelling unto some foreign land. She dressed herself in sailor's clothes, or so it would appear, and hired with a captain to serve him for a year. She hired with a captain, a cabin boy to be. The winds, they were in favor, and soon they set to sea. The captain's lady was on board and seemed it to enjoy. So glad the captain had engaged a handsome cabin boy. This fearless maid was nimble and did her duties well. But hark what happened after, as she herself will tell. The captain's lady stole a kiss and wanted a toy, but the captain found the secret of the handsome cabin boy. Her cheeks were red and rosy, her hair hung down in curls. The sailors often smiled and said, he looks just like a girl. Well, that ruins it. But eating captain's biscuits, her colour did destroy, and the waist did swell on fearless Nell, the handsome cabin boy. In the Bay of Biscay, our gallant ship did plough. One night among the sailors there came a dreadful row. They tumbled from their hammocks, for sleep it did destroy, and cursed about the moaning of the handsome cabin boy. Oh, doctor, the cabin boy did cry, my time is come, I am undone, and surely I must die. The doctor came a-running and smiled at all the fun. To think a sailor boy should have a daughter or a son. child belonged to none of them, they solemnly all did swear. The captain's lady said to him, "My dear, I wish you joy, for it's either you or I betrayed the handsome cabin boy." So each man took his tot of rum and drank to better trade, and likewise to the cabin boy, who was neither man nor maid. His hoping was won't come again of sailors to destroy, and he's hoping for a jolly lot more like the handsome cabin boy. Thank you. All right, well, nearly did it. I would like to introduce to the stage, please, Mr. John Kirkpatrick.
Good evening, hello. Great to be here in Margate. There's a couple of tunes. Plenty of room for a dance around in here if you fancy that there. Thank you very much. They were two. I live in Shropshire, excuse me, in the middle of the country, and they were two tunes from old Shropshire musicians' manuscript books from the middle of the 19th century, as I can see you could guess already. The first one is called Wednesday Night, and the second one was called The Great Eastern Polka, named after the Great steamship Great Eastern, which is the biggest ship in the world when it was built. Here's a song, it's a traditional song, it's called There Stands a Cottage. If you'd like to join in, the last line repeats. If you'd rather not join in, I'll do it anyway. You know, just relax, it's fine. There stands a cottage. A cottage on yonder moor, a cottage I never have seen before, and a pretty young maid lives there, oh, a pretty young maid lives there. Well, I stepped up to her garden gate, although the night was ever so late, and I called to be let in, oh, I called to be let in. I boldly knocked upon the door, and I heard this maid trip over the floor, and she loudly cried, "Who's there?" Oh, she loudly cried, "Who's there?" Oh, it rains, it snows, it hails, it blows, and I am wet through all my clothes. So I pray you let me in, oh, I pray you let me in. Oh no, kind sir, that never can be, for there's no one in this house but me. I dare not let you in, oh, I dare not let you in. She cast her eyes to the glorious skies. It rained, it hailed, and the winds blew high. And she called me back again, oh, she called me back again. Take off your wet, put on your dry, and on the bed you quietly lie. And how her eyes did shine, oh, how her eyes did shine. She came in and she kissed my cheek, she kissed my chin, and a game it did begin, oh, a game it did begin. And the very next day to church we went, and I made her my lawful bride, oh, I made her my lawful bride. Now whenever the weather be ever so poor, we think of that night I found her door, and she called me back again, oh, she called me back again. Thank you very much. So I'm just waiting for the applause to die away where everyone's streaming. He said desperately. Some of you will know, I hope, that if you do a sword dance in this country, quite often somebody will sing a song praising the heroic qualities of all the dancers before you set to. And the songs are called calling on songs. And there's quite a few in the tradition. And I was looking at them a couple of years ago thinking I'd do one. And in the end, having looked at them a long time, I decided it was time for a different sort of calling on song. So I made this up. If you're familiar with these sorts of things, you'll recognise some of the words and phrases. And if you're not, of course, you may not. But the chorus goes, there'll be no gold nor silver. This will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. Trouble is, the chorus doesn't start till halfway through the song, unfortunately. So once you hear the chorus, it comes twice each time. So this is the handling of your sword. One sword alone is fearsome, a weapon made to kill. Born in the heat of a blazing fire, forged with a blacksmith's skill. A hero's hand must wield it, a warrior stout and strong, to rip the air asunder, to keep what's right from wrong. Two swords are made for battle, to point and thrust and maim, to clash and bang and rattle, and to wound and call and blame, to keep the world divided, to cleave it clean in two, the winners and the losers, and nothing else will do. Then a third sword and a fourth sword, they come to join the fray, in other hands from other lands, demanding stand and stay. Then a fifth sword and a sixth sword, they raise the tumult higher, each striving for the victory, all of that one desire. Then appears a seventh sword, bathed in golden light. I am not king or conqueror, I am not come to fight. My power can outweigh you, oh no harm can you do me. So hear my word, you swordsman, or for I come to set you free. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. Earth is soaked with the blood you spill, no seed within can grow. The air is black with smoke and fire, no healing breath can blow. The water now is filled with tears, the land is filled with fear. What drives you on will bring the end of all you hold most dear. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. That strength you show in battle, one sword against them all. Come use that strength in a different fight where you neither stand nor fall. Come weave your swords in union, come link your swords as one. Come shine a light around the world and show what must be done. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. Oh, now I have a dance to teach you, a dance to try your skill, to step along the path of peace, for that must be your will. Each dancer here is equal, and none need feel afraid, so join your swords in harmony and heal this world you've made. There'll be be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. Then the seed shall root and prosper, the wind shall clear the air, the water splash and sparkle, and the land shall bloom and bear. Then dance away the darkness, dance in the light of day, dance in the new tomorrow, let the music play. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. There'll be no gold nor silver, this will not make you lord, but you'll win far greater glory from the handling of your sword. Thank you. Well, after that, I play a sword dance tune. As you probably know, sword dancing in England usually comes from Yorkshire or the surrounding area, sets of 6 or 8. There's a very similar dance, comes from much further north, from one of the smaller Shetland islands called Papastua. And nobody quite knows how it got there. It's very similar to the Yorkshire dances, except it's for 7, not for 6 or 8. So it's fantastically asymmetrical. But been there for well over 200 years, nobody quite knows how it got there. But they do it to this fantastic tune, which is a great triple hornpipe tune with the most peculiar name in the local dialect. It's called the Papastua Sword Dance Tune. Thank you. Well, for a few years, fairly recently, I was the singer with a band called Home Service. It's a folk rock band. John Tams had been in it for about 100 years, and he got fed up and left, and eventually I got the job. And we did a new album's worth of material and not a few gigs, not very many. and then John Tams came back in the band. So then we were both in it. So we stood one each side of the stage, you know, glaring at each other. And it wasn't very satisfactory. So then I left, and then he left, and now Bob Fox is doing it. Who's obviously shameless. But this is a song we did while I was in the band. You had to imagine the other 7 very noisy people. There's just, as you see, there's just one of me. And this, one of the band, Andy Findon, the flute player, brought in a tune by Henry Purcell. He thought it'd be great to do a big noisy version of this tune. And while we were rehearsing it, he looked over at me and said, "Why didn't I write some words to it?" So I put together some words that I thought Purcell might have enjoyed. And if he doesn't like them much, he's not here, so he may never know. So it's called A New Ground, which is the title track of the album. Just one of many fabulous CDs for sale tonight, everybody. I bet all of you at home wish you were here now, so you could come and see the amazing display. But, so this is called A New Ground. There's no chorus, so please just sit quietly and, you know, tense up. Now the old ground is fallen away, away, and a new ground instead is holding sway. And place your feet upon the earth, on the earth which gave you birth. Now the old life has fallen away, away, and a new life instead where once it lay. And breathe every breath of golden air, every breath beyond compare. Now the old love has fallen away, away, and a new love instead shines out like day, and fills the world with glory bright, fills the world with golden, golden light. Now the old love has fallen away, away, and a new love instead shines out like day, and fills the world with glory bright, fills the world with golden, golden light, fills the world with golden, golden light.
excuse me, I'm just going to interrupt for 1 minute to talk to the people at home. If you are in a position, please, to donate to this concert, we would really love that if you're in that position. And you could possibly win a CD if you did, or a toilet roll. I mean, you know, heavens. So as a suggestion of how much you could donate, John, I don't know whether you still do Morris dancing. Or,
I do, yes.
Yeah, well, you see, he possibly does Morris dancing. I have watched him in the past, and he's probably worn out some bells. So if you could send the equivalent of some bells for him, it's around about £5, you know, so that's the ones with the Velcro, which are a bit more comfortable rather than the ones, and a bit more secure than the ones that need tie on.
It's a real trial. Yeah.
It is, yes. I mean, yes. So that would be wonderful, but anything that you donate would be really, really lovely. And for the people who aren't in the room, who can't actually purchase from the comprehensive merchandise stall on the corner there, where can the people at home get your CDs and that from?
Thank you for asking, Morag.
Oh, you're welcome.
You can get them from my website, which is www.
Are you writing this down?
John Kirkpatrick, all one word, .co.uk. Very easy. And everything I've got available tonight is for sale there. Plus postage, of course, so you should have come.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morag. Speaking of Morris dancing, here are a couple of Morris dance tunes. I danced in Shropshire with a men's team called the Shropshire Bedlams, and we go around with a women's team called Martha Roden's Tuppenny Dish, and the men play for the women, and the women play for the men. It's very wholesome and hearty. These two are the tunes that the women dance to, called Fair Play and Traveller's Joy. Thank you. Tell you something extremely interesting now. If you're a concertina player, I had a technical problem with my instrument recently, and the concertina, and this little buckle here broke. Took how long did it take? 56 years it took to break it, but finally it broke, and I had to get it repaired. And I got very, very new straps on it, and I can hardly move my fingers. It's like playing with, in chains. I know most of you couldn't care less about that, but in case there's any concertina players here, I'm just trying to get a bit of sympathy or something. Here's a song anyway, another song, traditional song. I was playing in Dorking Folk Club last night in, where's Dorking? In Surrey. And somebody asked me if I still did this song. And I didn't know if I did or not, because I haven't done it for years, but I managed to get through it. It's a traditional song from Devon. It's called A Maiden Sat Weeping. Comedy number, obviously. If you want to join in a rather mournful way, the last line of each verse comes twice. Beautiful tune. Oh, a maiden sat weeping on the shore. What makes my pretty mistress? What makes thy heart so sore? What makes thy heart so sore? Oh, because I am weary in my mind, no comfort, no pleasure in this hard world I find, in this hard world I find. I'll spread my sails of silver, I'll loose my rope of silk. My mast is of the cypress tree, my path is white as milk, my path is white as milk. I'll spread my sails of silver, I'll steer towards the sun. My false love will weep for me when I am gone. Oh, for me when I am gone. Oh, for me when I am gone. Thank you very much. I do a few themed shows. You know, I'll try anything, you know. So I do a Christmassy show called Caroling and Crumpets. I do an evening of farming songs, and I do an evening of songs from the 2 World Wars. And this year, I thought I had a new idea. I thought, well, I need to do something different. I haven't done a new one for a while. So it's 200 years, almost, you know, to this decade since the first versions of squeeze boxes appeared. You know, all the things that I play, their first forms appeared in the 1820s. And I thought, that's it, 200 years of the squeeze box. And so I've been thinking of a few things to do and sorts of music to play. So this is a melodeon. So this was one of the earliest sorts of squeeze box. As a young man working in his musical instrument business in Berlin in 1819, invented the mouth organ as a way to get consistent notes for helping to tune a piano. And then he thought, oh, this is quite a reasonable instrument, and he put it inside a box. So this is a mouth organ in a box. And then it became a melodeon. And they've all had, you know, endless developments ever since. But so I thought I would reflect some of the cultures that use the melodeon today as part of my zeal. And the first gig I'm doing this show is a week on Saturday, so I'm kind of panicking. I was going to say something very rude then. I'm panicking just slightly. This is a tune from Quebec. They use this instrument in music in Quebec, and fantastic machine gun sort of style. And I first heard this tune about 50 years ago as an LP of a man called Philippe Bruneau from Montreal, who plays one of these. And this is a tune called Le Brandy, and it's quite mesmerising. It's very repetitive and quite mesmerising. So it's possible you'll all have fallen asleep by the time I finish this. But it's called Le Brandy, and which is in itself is fascinating because, as you know, the French for brandy isn't brandy, and there's an English tune called Drops of Brandy, which is nothing like this. But it's a triple hornpipe. It's in 3/2 time, which people were just rediscovering triple hornpipes in English culture at the time I heard this tune. So it was so exciting, I wet myself. And I can see that some of you are already doing that in here. So this is Le Brandy from Quebec. you mesmerised then? I'm still awake mostly anyway, that's good. I'll move this out of the way, sorry. Where's the handle gone? There we are. I discovered recently that I'm just 2 days older than Ian Anderson, who's the flute player in Jethro Tull, who's famous for playing on one leg, so that was my audition piece for Jethro Tull. He's never phoned or anything. This is a traditional English folk song, having just been to Quebec. This is the one that's going to wake you up in the middle of the night for the next 3 weeks. It's a very, very simple chorus of the kind I know you're going to love. To me rightful airy, fol the diddle-ay. To me rightful airy, oh. To me rightful airy, fol the diddle-ay. To me rightful airy, oh. Irresistible, isn't it? This is a Shropshire version of a song I'm sure you've heard here millions of times, John Barleycorn. This is how it used to be sung by Fred Jordan, who is a great traditional singer from Shropshire. Some of you, I'm sure, will have seen him. Now there came 3 men from the west, me boys, their fortunes for to try. And these 3 men come rejoicing when John Barleycorn must die. So they ploughed him deep in the furrows, they sowed rye over his head. And these 3 men home rejoicing when John Barleycorn was dead. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, go. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, oh. But the sun shone warm and the wind blew soft, and it rained in a day or so. And Barleycorn felt the wind and rain, and he soon began to grow. But the rye began to grow as well. The rye grew slow but tall, but Barleycorn grew short and quick, and he proved them liars all. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. Rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. So they hired men with sickles to cut him off at the knee. And worst of all for Barleycorn, they served him barbarously. For they hired men with pikes to toss him onto a load. And when they tossed John Barleycorn, they tied him down with cord. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. Rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. Then they hired men with threshels to beat him high and low. They came smick-smack upon poor Jack's back till the flesh bled every blow. Then they put him into the kiln, me boys, thinking to burn his bones. And when he came out, John Barleycorn, they crushed him between 2 stones. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. Rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. Then they put him into the mashing tub, thinking to burn his tail. And when he came out, he changed his name, for they called him Homebrewed Ale. So come put your wine into glasses and your cider in pewter cans. But Barleycorn in the old brown jug, for he's proved the strongest man. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. Rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. To me rightful Larry, yo. To me rightful Larry, fall the diddle-ay. Hey, turn me right, Valerio. Thank you very much. It's another Shropshire song. I don't come from Shropshire, I lived there a long time now. This is a version of another song you'll have heard a million times. At least if you're as ancient as me, it used to be on the radio every week on Children's Favourites. In an American version. This is the English version. You just repeat the last bit of each verse. I'm sure you'll get that idea very quickly. Oh, this is called Old Father Fox. Often it's just called The Fox or Daddy Fox. This is Old Father Fox. Completely different. Now old Father Fox came out one night. He prayed to the moon to give him light. He'd many a mile to travel that night before he came to the den. Oh, den, oh, den, oh. He'd many a mile to travel that night before he came to the den. Oh. Well, at last he came to the farmer's yard where the ducks and the geese, they quacked so hard. He eyed them up for the grease and the lard to carry one away to his den. Oh, den, oh, den, oh. He eyed them up for the grease and the lard to carry one away to his den. Oh. Well, he grabbed the grey goose by the head, just one bite and the goose was dead. And he slung her on his back and away he fled with the legs all a-dangling down, oh, down, oh, down, oh. He slung her on his back and away he fled with the legs all a-dangling down, oh. Oh, Mother Slipper Slopper jumped out of bed. Down went the window and out popped her head. Oh, John, the grey goose is dead and the fox is away to his den. Oh, den, oh, den, oh. Oh, John, the grey goose is dead and the fox is away to his den. Oh. Sir John rushed out to the top of the hill, blowed upon his horn both loud and shrill. Father Fox swam cackling and carrying his kill, carried it away to his den. Oh, den, oh, den, oh. Father Fox swam cackling and carrying his kill, carried it away to his den. Oh. Father Fox came home to his dear little wife. They carved up the goose without any knife. They said 'twas the best they'd ever tasted in their life, and the cubs all nibbled on the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. They said 'twas the best they'd ever tasted in their life, and the cubs all nibbled on the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. They said 'twas the best they'd ever tasted in their life, and the cubs nibbled on the bones, oh. Thank you.
Okay, this is the bit they've all come for. Okay. Can you pull two out? Two. Yeah. One.
There's one. I'll give that to you.
Okay.
And there's the
Yeah,
other.
because I can read them.
Can you really?
Yeah, well,
Marvellous.
it's good. Well, I wrote them, you see. David Rosen. Where's Dave? Who's David Rosen? Yeah. Oh, fabulous. You've won a CD. Well done. And Sheila Dodsworth, you've won a toilet roll. Very exciting. Who gives a crap toilet roll? That's wonderful. Okay, we've got one more song, and then we've got the break. Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, you two. For everybody else, the records are still on sale. You have to provide your own toilet rolls. I'll finish up with a military march. Excuse me. So this is by Kenneth Alford, who was a very prolific composer of military music in Britain. Joined the Royal Marines as a boy bugler and ended up as their director of music. Had a fantastic career and wrote millions of tunes. He wrote this in the First World War in honour of the officers of the Royal Navy, and it's called On the Quarterdeck. If you know the correct moves, then please just march up and down looking very kind of, arrogant and naval.
Kirkpatrick!
Thank you.
Yay!
Thanks.
Fabulous. Okay. So we've got another half people in here, but you at home, you're free to go now. I'd just like to thank, please on the door, Nick, and Roger doing the filming, and John doing the sound, Phil doing the cameras, and Lizzie in Galashiels doing the whatever it is she does on the internet stuff. And also, due to human error, mine, in the bar, we have Una, we have G, and we have Naomi. Ray! Yes. Yep. So next week we have the John Palmer Trio, which includes Lee Wellbrook, for those of you who know. We also have a floor spot from Krista Bubble, lovers of Krista Bubble. The following week we've got Trio Mana Manouche with Thomas Abraham, which will be wonderful. Tomorrow night we've got our Shanty Night, which will be absolutely bonkers. But come early, yes. If you want to get in, come early, because it's very well, yes, yeah. We won't go there, okay. Right, so this evening, this has been Rosalind Court. That was John Kirkpatrick, although he's buggered off, so we can't say, yeah. I'm Morag Butler, and we'll see you next week for the John Palmer Trio. Thank you very much. Bye.